Hearns, Matchroom Sport, Jason Gavin, Geordie Raw, Tommy Coyle, Master Dart, Daniel Briswela, Jojo Dan, Snigger Smig, Eggington, Skarky Quig, Pig Face, Crusty Neck, Anthony Jetta. Johnny Ryder, Swifty Smith, Tesco Joe, Emmicons Jim, Bradley Saunders, Headbutt, Martin Murray, title shot, IFL, fight pass, Kelbrook out there getting slashed, Gary Cornish, silver title, John Warrington's wedding.
When boxing, it was always fun, and since the heart's been honest, when boxing, but we all alike it, so we're gonna fight it.
Jim Watt, Nick Colling, he don't know a fucking thing. Adam Smith, weird neck, Prince Dad made him cry. Paulie's on the payroll, AJ's on the Nandrolone. Ticket counts advertised to millions by Sky. Diamond Belt, Unify, every word's a total lie. Trade fights, Brian King, MGM Hearns in the ring. Gallagher, Dog Pound, the RSPCA's come round. Bleeds, Mob, next big pod, Brutches out a nose job.
It was always fun, and since the heart's been honest, he got to ruin boxing, so we sorta like it, so we're trying to fight it.
Welcome back to the next big pod. It's good to be back after Eddie Hearn fighter quitting or just losing, really. Brian, you was there. Do you want to set the scene? Tell us how it went down in the arena live.
Aye, it was good. I didn't get there till about... I was in Glasgow away to a show at the time. So I didn't get to see the fight before it, but I got to tell the fight was a better. So I'll go back and watch that. And the place was kind of fucking jumping, and then all of a sudden, like, I heard Eddie Hearn, you're a wanker, and I turned around and Hearn's just fucking right behind me. So it was good to walk in there and find out that everybody hates him. And I don't actually, hi, I was at Alice in Wonderland. I don't actually think Eddie particularly likes getting that amount of shit. I know he puts a brave face on it, but he's not the type of guy that will think, oh, I've made it because I've got haters and I've got people that love me. He's not like that. I think he's a bit an egomaniac, so he just wants to be fucking totally loved. So Scottish crowd getting that right into his fucking face, and when he walked by, I stuck the fingers right in his face and called him a baldy cunt.
Did he see you?
Oh, of course, I fucking did see me. So Ohara walks down, we're shouting abuse at him. I'm nearly fucking right in his face as well. The camera guy pushed me out the way, acting like a wee Ned, wasn't I? Like about a 16-year-old Ned. So then Josh Taylor came down, and I walked over to my seat, and just surprise, who's just basically to the left, the right of me, 2 rows in front, Eddie Hearn. So all I'd done for the 77 rounds was just screamed abuse at him. Absolutely, he clearly knew who it was that was shouting at him, but he didn't turn back any time. But before I get into the fight, between one of the rounds, Tommy shouted over to him. I think Tommy says something about, I met it, fucking saying, Hearn says, you melted when you met me. So Tommy offered him a square go, and Eddie was laughing. And then Tommy turned around and says, no, I'm being totally, son, I'm being fucking serious here. We'll sort this out outside. And you could see Hearn's expression absolutely drop when he realised that Tommy was being serious. So, once the fight was over, Hearns walked by us again. He was like, you fucking cunt! You fucking cunt! He's like, it was a good fight, guys. I was like, fuck you, Eddie Hearn. And he was getting absolute fucking pelter. So it was just great. I got to meet Chemo, Daniel Lim, and Cam for the coalition. I mean, Chemo came from Abu Dhabi, Daniel Lim came from Los Angeles, and Cam came from Manchester. So fair play to them. Right. It was really good. It was fucking right good fight. I wasn't expecting good as it was, but I'm just I don't want to technically break it down now, but I was just so fucking buzzing. I don't think I actually came off that legal high that I've got, because it was just an absolute beat down Just that, like, you don't really get many boxers that want to attack your body anymore. I think that, like, in class and people kind of took to Ricky Hatton, but there's something fucking good about seeing a boxer like just stand fucking head to head with somebody, and like, it's not a fucking pure spazzy brawl. Like two bums. This is a guy that knows what he's doing. Like, I'm not saying he's technically perfect, but what he was doing there was fucking outstanding.
Alex Arthur said it on the commentary. He said you can be a very good technical boxer and stand in the pocket, block shots and counter.
And
like,
you know who done that?
Chest to chest.
Toledo versus Vargas. How good was that? A fucking technical fight, and they were right up against each other. Like, I don't like. I go back to like kind of Gatti Ward. I feel as if like at times it was just two bums, just like throwing punches. But the way like Taylor was like kind of pivoting left to right, like kind of going a bit low just so he could get round. Like Ohara Davies' arms are really long, so what he was doing is he was fucking going low and turning his body a bit just so he could like get the left hook or the right hook right into the body. And they were right in front of me. I was in the third row, and you could see what he was doing. It was just really fucking good. And you know what I liked as well? What I liked as well is I think like, told Josh to go over and like kind of shake fucking Ohara Davies' hands, and he's like, nah, fuck that. You'd like, see if you want to be a bad bastard the way Ohara Davies has acted, you keep fucking rolling with it. You don't try to act like the pussy you did. So what did Taylor do? Nah, fuck that.
On him being a pussy, I thought he melted from the end of the first round when he was touching gloves at the end of a round. I thought, nah, like you say, if you're going to be a bad bastard, you ain't touching gloves at the end of a round every time. So his arsehole went straight away.
See, that's like, I'm going to play the heel and all that. I'm not going to change. I'm going to trash talk that. It's just to sell a fight, right? But just stick with it. Broner's stuck with it. Broner's still totally disrespectful. Broner's still an arsehole. Just roll with it. But
yeah, Broner's got even worse.
Yeah. The thing with Ohara Davies is he's not got the personality to play the character he wants, right? He's a smart arse on Twitter because he's got time to think about it. You stick him front in a microphone with a camera in front of him, is absolutely thick as shit. You seen him yesterday on that Periscope. See, because he's got no time to think, he's a stutter mess. He is an absolute fucking mongo. Like,
hey, well, he did say, and I think most of us would quit, if both of our noses were blocked, then I think we'd have to pull out as well. Yeah. Having one nose blocked is bad enough, but two must have been dreadful for him.
I'll let you kind of fucking chat on it because I could just ramble all night on this, and I probably will, but it's just so good. Like, I mean, like every fight that I've been to, that has probably been the best one. Maybe not the best.
You reckon it was better than Golovkin Brook? Because we was going mad like little fanboy casuals in there.
But I think that there was just so much on the line here, see, because they like Barry McGuigan, Eddie Hearn. Like you did not see the reaction of him after this fight. Like Hearn was telling like Blaine, calm down with the celebrating and all that, and Blaine's like, fuck off.
That's legit, isn't it? That dislike between those camps, that's real. That's legit.
Because see when Frampton just left, like Hearn. Me and Hearn done an interview that says he weren't a real promoter, and Blaine's the promoter. Barry McGuigan's not. Blaine's the promoter. So he was basically talking shit about Blaine. He's always talking down to him. It was so fucking difficult to make the quick fight because of him.
Who's the one that Hearn gets on with a little bit? Is it Jake? It's Blaine, Shane, and I mean, there's the three brothers, isn't there? Blaine, Shane, and Jake. Because in the videos, Hearn always says, "Oh, I speak to Jake McGuigan. I've sent him an offer." So he gets on with one of them.
Or I think it's both of them. I think it's Jake and I think Blaine. I think it's the pair of them that he don't mind doing business with. But Shane fucking hates him.
It was just so good. Like there was just so much on the line. That's how I think it was probably the best fight I've been to. I know it wasn't like people can basically rhyme off like classic fights I've been to live, and they'll say like the Jamie Conlon fights and all these mad obscure wee fights that they've all been to, but. See, because like the crowd, like there was about 3,000 there, man, but the crowd was going absolute tonto, and I can now understand what's the appeal to go to a Josh Warrington fight, because see when like Ohara Davies quit, fuck me, man. There was a stampede to try to get ringside to get in Eddie Hearn's face. Cunts were getting... I nearly get clotheslined off a security guard to get fucking back, man. There was a guy fucking, like, get fucked back out. Like, the Hearn, like, it was really good. Like, see, when you go to a Matchroom show, it's just so professional, right? But see, when you go to other shows, there's not enough security, and it's absolute garbage, man. Oh, it was fucking good. Just like, Hearn took absolute dogs about it. He was out his comfort zone, I can tell you that.
Matthew, do you want to... You said you called the stoppage about 6 weeks ago. Is that correct, or are you just trying to blow smoke at your own arse?
No, I didn't call a stoppage. I mean, I did. I mean, last week I went points because Taylor points. Cause
I mean, you called how the stoppage would happen, or you called the punch?
I called. Well, I don't know when the fight was first made. We was having a chat. I think it was just me and Brian at the end, and I just mentioned that one of the things I really liked about Taylor was that he blocks hooks with the same hand and counters back with them. Because normally, a natural reaction when you're blocking a body shot is to roll away from the punch, and then that sets you up to counter with the other hand. But if you slightly lean into the shot, you'll break the shot's resistance, and then you can counter back because you're already in position to throw the same hand you block with. And it's just one of the little things that Taylor does. I said before, he's not your typical British boxer, and that, I think it was a right hook, wasn't it? He just sort of leant into the hook, just very, very slightly stayed upright, and then he just countered back with the same hand. It was a wicked shot. But yeah, no, fight. It was. I mean, I wasn't there, but the atmosphere looked brilliant. It looked like it was a really good fight. I thought it would be messier than that because of the southpaw and the orthodox. I thought it'd be a bit messier, but I thought Taylor was excellent. We were chatting before about what rounds we gave O'Hara Davies. I gave him the first round. I thought Taylor might struggle with that jab because it is unorthodox. It's shit and unorthodox. But once he took the jab away from him, he just fucking destroyed him. And I'm not sure. I'd like to know what you guys think. So I don't know what the tactics were because I didn't hear any corner work because I was just sort of pacing up and down when I was watching it. But I kind of got the opinion that Taylor himself decided to stay in the pocket for as long as he did because I felt that once he took O'Hara's leverage away, he took his jab away, that was it. It was game over. And he just decided just to stay in the pocket and just work the body and didn't come out. And sometimes he came out for a bit and it went back again. I'm not convinced that was the absolute game plan, and he might have done that on the fly, which is even more impressive. But no, the way Taylor was whipping in those hooks to the body and just picking Davies off and just rolling under his weird hooks and those shit uppercuts, those like Hadouken uppercuts he was throwing. He scored him. It was an absolute beatdown. I thought it was fucking brilliant.
Like the thing that impressed me most about him was the way he was rolling off the short hooks and banging to the body. He repeatedly did it. He did it in the first round, and I thought, I like that. And he kept doing it.
Yeah, because Davies just loads up so much you can see him coming.
Like we said on there many times, British fighters, they don't often go to the body. It was almost like Mexican in a way. He was technically sound, but attacking all the time. He wasn't on the back foot ever. Or he went for a walk every now and then. And I think he was fighting on the front foot and slipping, parrying, and still being in charge. It was brilliant to watch. Very, very good. I really enjoyed it.
Go on, sorry, carry on. Sorry.
I kind of undersold him last week because what I'd seen for him up until that point didn't really impress me that much. But he went up a few notches that night, that's for sure.
See, what I said was I wasn't impressed with Josh Taylor's defence in previous fights, but I did say that I don't know whether it's because he's not getting any respect for the opponents that he's in with because he knows he's a lot better. And it was proven at the weekend that was exactly the case. Like I went through the rounds and I wrote everyone down. Well, I don't know why I done this, but it's probably just so I can remember a lot of stuff through rounds. But you know what? He would back Nadal just get beat.
Yeah.
The drugs don't work; they make you worse.
Not for Federer.
What I noticed with Taylor was he would go onto the ropes himself, right? But his defence was that good. He was catching everyone on his arms and his gloves, right? So what he would do is then he would lean to the left and give me a body shot. Then go like a left hook to the body, a left hook to the head, right? And he would stay on the ropes. You know how, like, I don't like using comparisons, but like if there's some fucking dumb bastards out there, you know how like Mayweather would back onto the ropes and all that, but he was always getting the better punches off because he was timing it, but he was making people miss. He was like counter punching. That's what Taylor was doing. It was just so good. I'm just so high as a fucking kite. I'm still fucking buzzing, and it's Monday. That's what boxing can do to you. How good would it be if we could get 50-50 fucking fights all the time? Like, out of fight. I know this wasn't a 50-50 because I always knew Josh was going to fucking ice him, but how good is it if we get this all the time?
It's not even 50-50 fights. You just want meaningful fights, don't you?
Yes.
More than 50-50.
We talked about before. You just have something on the line, haven't you? You've got to have.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It needs like pride at stake, or at least like us versus them sort of thing. If you even the shit fights can be good if you're like emotionally invested in them. Like David Hay and Tony Belly, for example. Everyone thought that was a mismatch to go in, didn't they? But we all tuned in and we was all fucking biting our nails watching it purely because. Fucking hell, Aaron's going to win this. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, this is why this year's been good, because even the shit fights, like Broner and Garcia, for example, I don't think that's that great a competitive fight. I think Mikey will beat him up and school him. But at the same time, I'm still like emotionally invested because I don't want Broner to win. So even the sort of fights, I've still been better than anything we got last year. It's just been a good year all round, and I hope it continues. What was I going to say before I went on a tangent? Oh, you said about O'Hara's unorthodox jab.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was ever going to be a problem for him. It's so unorthodox as shit. It's not unorthodox and going to trick him. It comes from his waist. It's like a backhand slap from his waist.
Yeah, but as we said before, you can, if you're, it's like when you play poker against someone who don't know what they're doing, and they're so unorthodox and haven't got a clue, that you need to take a few hands to sort of work out what's going on. And I think anytime anyone fights Ohara Davies, because he's so shit and because the punches don't come from where you think they're going to come, he don't know what he's doing either. It will take a bit of time. I did think, watching it, maybe because I was ultra nervous as well. I stood up for most of the fight because I was just shitting it, because I was like, oh, fuck me, if Ohara does win this, I'm finished. But I did think he did, not, I wouldn't say struggle, but he definitely took his time just to work it out and time it. And as I said, I think Shane McGuigan before the fight might have been shouted at the ref to pull the waistband down of Davies, because it was quite high. I'm sure he said something about the waistband, get it down. But as soon as he took that jab away, it was game over. And then just on the knockdown, I know everyone was giving O'Hara a stick about the jab. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think he went down from the jab. Like watching it back again, he gets hit with like a short left uppercut, sort of uppercut to the body, and I think that was the first time he was severely hurt. I mean, he was staggered before, but I think that was the first time he was severely hurt and just didn't know what to do, and he sort of backed off. He got hit with a jab and then just thought, oh fuck. And I know we'll probably get onto his Sims and that, but he just didn't know what to do, did he? Once he got hurt, he didn't know how to deal with it, didn't know how to survive.
You know how like people say that you can tell. Like the time like Mosley like cracked Mayweather, I think it was you, Macho. Was it you that says that you can tell he's had hard sparring because of the way he reacts to a punch? Like you could tell because like, when he got hot with Mosley and when he's been hot with was fucking
Medina.
He knows how to react. O'Hara just doesn't look as if he knows how to react. Who's he going to be sparring in there with? Ricky Burns, right? Kevin Mitchell. Kevin Mitchell will still be sparring. I seen Mitchell at the weekend, man, and he does look deep. See, for a guy that's like no longer boxing, he doesn't look in bad shape.
Well, Sai said he's coming back.
He's a fucking bum.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I admitted to you, I saw it in the chat. See, when I seen Kevin Mitchell walking down, I was right in front of the ring, so they were having to goodbye me, and he looked at me, and I thought he noticed me, and I absolutely fucking buckled, man. I thought he was going to say something, or maybe just like, you know how you get a wee cheeky punch to the stomach or something like that, but he just kind of walked on, so he must have not noticed me. I shat myself. I will not lie, I shat it.
Me and Ainsley was sat across the table from him in Manchester for about an hour and a half. And we was fucking panicking, mate. It was Matchroom Central. There was Gallagher behind us, Stockquid walking around, Callum Smith. I was like, fucking hell, keep your head down.
Oh, man, imagine I was there. I wouldn't have seen the fucking night.
No, Quig said that, and he came over to Simon and went, is Brian here? And he went, no, he's not here. And he went, well, if he is, I'm going to chin him. Me and Ainsley was like, oh, fuck, head down.
Yeah. But what rounds was it you gave? Like,
I gave him the fourth. I thought Taylor won the first, even though we just had a look at him. I just thought his shots were cleaner.
I gave I think Davies the first round, and I think it was the fourth round after the first knockdown. I think, like, it's as bizarre as it sounds because he ended up quitting. At times in that fight, I thought he showed a bit of fighter's instinct. So when he did get dropped in round 3, I thought he came back, and it might have only been briefly, but at the start of the round, he came out swinging, and little patches of that I was a little bit impressed with, because I didn't know what he had in his locker in terms of heart and stuff. Obviously later on he quit, but I think I definitely gave him the first. I think I gave him the fourth as well. But again, it might just be one of those things that you didn't do as bad as the round before. That's why I like to go back and just cherry pick rounds and watch them in isolation. But it didn't really matter for this.
Again, him fighting fire with fire, that's because I don't think he's clever enough to do anything else. He didn't know how to hold up or tie up. All he could do was throw shots to try and keep Taylor off him. There was no other way of him. But
that was another thing as well. I mean, we're not fucking broken records about inside fighting, but a lot of times Taylor would put his head on Davies' head, and he wasn't doing a great deal. He was just there, standing right in front of him, just waiting. And I was just thinking, why is he not tying him up? Because he couldn't handle those body shots at all. Every single one of them shook him. But I was like, just tie him up. Just try and tie him up. Just try and do something. Or try and catch one of the shots. And, I think they call it for Floyd a sticky punch. When someone does tag Floyd, he just grips onto it. He hangs onto it. Done exactly that with Mosley. But he didn't. He just couldn't do anything. He just sort of waited there, crouched down, and just allowed Josh Taylor, when he wanted to pop and weave. And he was whipping in some absolutely lethal bodywork. Really, really, really whipping body shots. He must have been pissing blood for sure.
I just said to Brian on Twitter before we started that when he came out for the first round, Ohaha, I don't know if he just watched like a YouTube video, like Best of Floyd Mayweather or something, but he was trying to shoulder roll with his stance, almost like Conor McGregor's stance in fucking UFC. I was like, what are you doing?
I don't understand. He
was head right behind his shoulder, stood like 90 degrees onto him. So I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
But see when you do the shoulder roll, what you also do is when you're trying to back somebody up, when you're moving forward, you stay in that stance. He doesn't. He goes for the shoulder roll face on and squares right up. It is the worst fucking technique I've ever seen. It's like his feet are so wide apart. No, granted his feet are wide apart, then maybe if you take a punch, you've got more balance on you because they're so fucking wide. But you don't go for a shoulder roll to square on in one movement. Like, I don't understand why have the shoulder roll. I know it's hard to be punched, but look, it doesn't work for O'Hara because he's the one.
Well, the shoulder roll barely works for anyone. We've seen loads of people try it and fail miserably. James Toney and Floyd, they mastered it, but other than that, there's not many others, is there?
Tyrone Nurse, great shoulder roll.
Fantastic.
You were talking before about the little chicken wing that he does, where he pokes his...
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. If you notice, instead of like parrying a jab or slipping a jab, like most people, if they're like normal fighters will just have both hands up by their face, won't they? And they'll parry a jab down. What he was doing, he had his arm in sort of like a chicken wing stance and was knocking it upwards or out the way. And I was like, what is that?
I can probably
no one ever taught him how to slip a jab.
Well, I can
or
give
parry
you
one.
A little bit of insight, but that little chicken thing, I used to do that, and I still do it at times. So when I first started sparring properly, I would have a little go at the shoulder roll. Obviously, it was horrendous. And then when you start boxing, would do that a lot, and the trainers would say, "Stop, keep your elbow down," because they would always sort of tap me and say, "Stop," because I would do that with my shoulder, and that is just literally because you're just unsure and you're a little bit nervous about when shots are coming in and when someone's fighting. You don't know what to do, so it's almost like a natural tick. I used to do it all the time. And it's funny you should say that until I got more comfortable in the ring and started to learn to parry a little bit more and catch shots and just sort of block with your hands up. And even now, sometimes I'll still just fall into that and do it. And when I was watching it, I was thinking, fuck yeah, I do that. And then it goes back to that, who is he sparring? What is he doing? I mean, to read that he was shocked that he had to pay for his own sparring. So he's clearly just been sparring his gym mates or anyone passing by that wants a favour. That whole Matchroom setup of, Sims, to me, whenever he speaks, he seems like a guy that's got like zero passion at all for the game. He's collecting a check. He's on a payroll. These guys come to Hearn. They go to the Matchroom gym, spar each other, do a bit of running. I don't doubt he trains hard, but he ain't getting proper sparring in there. No chance. Not if he's doing that chicken wing thing. That's a proper novice defensive technique.
What? Yeah, because it's not defensive at all, is it? Well, you're not doing anything.
No,
you might as well have that arm tied behind your back because you're not blocking anything to the head.
It's because
all you're going to do is knock stuff up or take shots on the arm. But even that's you take enough on the arm, that's going to weaken your arm anyway.
All I can say is from experience, having been in there and done it, I used to do that a hell of a lot with my elbow. Just raise them because just nervous. Just don't know what to do when someone's firing a shot. You're not sure what to do. And I was watching it. I was just sort of chuckling to myself, thinking, "Fuck, what is he doing? Why is that should be beaten out of him in the gym?"
Another thing we said before we started, we discussed the fight more off air than we did on air. But his power, I don't see where the power comes from because he arm punches a lot. Brian said last week he slaps, and I have to agree with him after watching the fight on Saturday. And his head comes, when he's throwing, his head comes further forward than his legs does as well. So he doesn't seem to put any weight. He doesn't seem to put his body into his shots or turn his hips into it. I said to you, he must just be a freak or something and just have like unnatural power.
Well,
Because
against
it doesn't look like he helps his power in any way.
Well,
And
I
his
think
his wide stance ain't gonna help that either.
no, against Derry, he seemed a bit because he had more time, but where he was getting hurt, and then he knew he was in deep. You kind of that's not natural to him. He hasn't got naturally good technique, so he just got worse and worse. He got more and more ragged, and I think it looked worse and worse. If obviously you put someone in front of him that's static, he's going to probably look a little bit better. But yeah, he was just awful, just because he had no idea what to do. I don't know. Was anything from the corners, Carp? Did you hear anything from the Sims corner?
I heard one thing after the third round, and Sim said to him, "Put your gloves up by your ears," and that was all I heard. And there was one point Shane McGuigan said, "Stop standing in front of him," and that was the only bit of corner work there was, because they was going to them Volta roll lads in between. And the commentary, I have to say, was quite good. I know Alex Arthur is a bit of a
cheerleader, mate. That was bad.
Yeah, but I thought he was good. I thought he was good. There was nothing O'Hara did that he didn't really mention. He did say O'Hara's having moments here, moments there. His scorecard, he give Taylor everything. But again, I don't even think that's that bad.
Fucking faggot.
What did he do?
Give a 10-10 round.
What one was that?
The fourth or the fifth.
Oh, well, I didn't see that.
Exactly. In fact, I tell you what it was. It must have been the fifth, because I gave that to O'Hara. So he gave a 10-10 round, and I was fuming.
What do you make of it after with Taylor running over to Burns? Is that a fight you want to see, or Ricky Burns don't need that work?
You don't want it.
No, Hearn's not going to fucking go back to that, is he? Like, he's going to make the crawler fight because he probably thinks that's going to get more money. I'll be honest, I don't think that. I think he'll lose his fucking nut on that crawler. If he thinks that the Scottish fans are going to travel down for that, they've got another thing coming. No, but in the MEN arena, who's he going to stick on there to try and fill that out? But
Scotty Quigg.
I mean, I'm a massive fan of Ricky. I fucking love him. But what he's done in his career is, I mean, he probably shouldn't have even won. Maybe shouldn't have even been European level. I don't think but what he done was amazing. He's not going to take that many fans down to Manchester. No, absolutely fucking no chance. And I don't think if it was up in the Hydro, I don't think like Crawler would bring up thousands. They've got a catchment area where the fans will be. I don't see the fans fucking travelling, and to be honest, I don't really see the point in that fight either. What is the point of it? Is it just a fight to get two guys that could probably get ranked to get another world title fight? I mean, neither of them are beating MD at like lightweight or lightweight. They're not
Vince on the boxing rant made me laugh. He said it's a fight to determine who's the 8th best 140 pounder in the world.
I don't even think it'll be. I don't even know if it would be at lightweight or lightweight.
No, if they're going to do it, they have to do it at lightweight, don't they? Because Ricky Burns ain't got no power anyway, really. Crawler's got no power at 135, so coming up to 140 is not going to help. So if they do it, they can. Obviously, Crawler can make 135, and Burns still can. So if they're going to do it at that.
I know, like Taylor's point of view is like Alex Arthur gave Ricky Burns the opportunity when like he was coming up, but see the difference is Alex Arthur was so on the fucking up. I can't remember if that was like 4 like Gomez or something like that. I need to look back at it. Somebody will tell me in the chat. But even then, Alex Arthur was still he wasn't past his best or all that. There's a difference here. But Taylor is a big 140 pounder. Taylor's fucking massive, man. Ricky Burns is barely a lightweight. He was a big super featherweight. He's not a light welterweight, and he's over the hill. I know I turn around and say that I kind of fucking kid on. I'm shitting on Ricky because he supported O'Hara Davies, but you're maybe going to do that. The only thing I didn't like about Burns saying that is that he just kind of went fucking balls deep in saying that Taylor's going to get knocked out. And I don't even think he actually really believed that. I don't like people being a bit of fucking Uncle Tom, where you're just Uncle Tom, where you're just basically sticking up for people for the sake of sticking up when you don't believe it. Like, there was no chance O'Hara Davies was going to knock him out. But no, I don't want to see Ricky Burns fucking Taylor. Because I would be.
I don't think there's no chance it's going to happen. I won't worry about it. There's no way Hearn is going to go back to the table. He's not going to. It's painful negotiating with the McGuigans, and as you said before the start, like Hearn does not like that sort of abuse. He's not used to it. I know after the he said in the Knife Hell interview after the Joshua fight getting booed by everyone, it did upset him. But his old man Barry just said, "Look, you've cracked it. If you've got all those people booing you, you know you're part of the story as well." But he don't like that. He doesn't like the McGuigans. He's not gonna give him another one of his stable for Taylor to run through. That's just not going to happen. I mean, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Alex Arthur or someone was talking about Hamden Park. I think it was a bit tongue in cheek, but it ain't. It's just I just don't see any way that Eddie Hearn's going to gift wrap McGuigans another one of his stable. No chance.
Taylor's going to be in a good position to fight for a title himself anyway, because once Crawford beats Ndongo and gets to 4, he's going to vacate and go up. So then you've got 4 belts, so we've been scrabbling around for them. He's the silver champion with the WBC now, so that gives him a decent ranking with them. What other shitty belts has he got, Brian? Has he picked anything else up over his career? Any other guff ones?
What's that?
Has Taylor picked up any other snide belts on the WBC?
Commonwealth, isn't he?
I personally think that he should go for. He should try and get like that mandatory. Like he should get title nurse mandated to fight him. Like I'm all for like going for the Commonwealth, British, and European before it. And like if you're good enough, title. If you're not, you're not destined to win one. I'm not what any of these people turn around and say, like you know how Hearn just wants to get guys world title fights just so it looks good on his resume, even though like, people are shit and have no chance of winning. Oh, at least I got my world title fight. I got him paid off his mortgage. I couldn't care less about that. If Josh Taylor's good enough, he will win the British and the European and then go into world titles. I don't want see when you notice like cycling promotions, they've not got the money like Matchroom where they can just match their guys with shite non-stop. They have to throw their guys in like deep. Like Cal was taking like decent fights when he was on up. Conrad Cummins has been in some tough fights. And Josh Taylor's really bad. That's only his 10th fight. His 10th fucking fight. Yeah.
Yeah, you forget that he's only had 10, don't you? You think he'd have a few more than that? Because what's O'Hara had? 17 with the loss?
16, I think.
16, yeah. So I thought he had more than 9 at the time.
I'm looking at the light welterweights, and Jack Catterall's really high on the WBO. He's I'm not in the fuck. I'm in like fightnews.com. They're normally always wrong.
Yeah, they're slow updating.
Like Orozco is like number 3. Robbie Davies is number 4 with the WBA. So,
what about the European champ?
Who is that?
Is that Yigit? Anthony Yigit?
The one who beat Lenny Dawes?
Yeah, that guy. I think he's a European champion. Isn't
he? Yeah.
Well, he's top 10. No, he's number 11 in this.
He's top. He's in the WBA. He will have a top 15 ranking. He should do because
six with the WBA and the IBF. So that'd be a good fucking scalp. But is what's happening with Nurse and Catterall? Is that fight not being made?
Fuck knows.
No idea. I suppose your best bet for that. But Robbie Davies Jr. is fighting on the weekend.
I like Robbie Davies.
He's on the Eubank card.
I like the cut of Robbie Davies' jump.
Yeah, fuck O'Hara as well. He said something about his dad, didn't he? Robbie Davies' dad saying he was a bum.
Aye.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that. He's still come out again though. Have you not seen he's asking for the Davies Jr. fight and he's still trapping off. See, I'm actually quite interested to see what they do next to him. I mean, certainly, people were saying that Hearn's going to drop him. I don't think Hearn's going to drop him at all. I think there'll be a lot of people willing to tune in for his next fight. What the fuck's his name? Ohara's already come out and said he doesn't want a 6, 8, 10 round. He wants to go straight back in. So I'm interested to see what they do with him because his next fight, there will be a lot of eyes on it and he could probably command decent-ish money. Nowhere near the level that he got for this fight, but he could still command decent-ish money. So I'm kind of thinking now we'll find out what sort of team he's got around him because they've built him up short term. It's been Hearn that's been pushing this heel persona. Hearn has been the one telling him to do this because I've been told, and I think we all have, that behind closed doors, he's a nice guy, pretty shy. Someone told me he's pretty much a bit of a geek, really, and quite uncomfortable to sort of be around. Whether they push him again into another sort of biggish fight with another British fight and just look to cash him out, but that's the last thing that he needs. If it was me, I'd send him off to the small shows for 18 months and just say, look, mate, just do it out of the fucking public limelight. Just sort yourself out, sort your technique out, maybe do a couple on the next gen shows and come back. But I don't think they'll do that.
You know how like Mike Tyson was like privately, he was like into like, pigeons and stuff like that. He was just, and he was softly spoken, but you stick him in front of a camera and he would lose his shit and say,
He's going to eat people's hearts and make orphans of their children.
Eat their children.
And we all know that Mike Tyson was nonced. Do you feel as if like Ohara Davies was maybe like molested when he was younger, and this is his cry for help, where he's just kind of trying to play a heel when he's not really it, and when you hear him like kind of try to be sincere, he really does sound like a faggot.
Well, he might be because he came from a very poor background, and he told stories about not being able to afford bus fare, and he had one bottle that he had for months until it went mouldy because he couldn't afford another one. So maybe if someone's going to offer him a few quid for a hand job, maybe he got involved.
How could you not afford a fucking bottle? The miserable, like, where was he living in fucking Bosnia in the 70s?
I don't know. I'm just going by what he said.
He lived in Hackney, for fuck's sake. The fuck you, Ohara Davies, man. I'm fucking glad you get your cunt kicked in. What a fucking bum. What a fucking bum. Absolute fucking shite. Like, this is my fucking issue with Sky Sports. Like, and you're hitting the nail on the head, Macho. Like, they're just fucking promoting personalities. They're not promoting fighters. That guy's fucking shit. Absolute fucking shite. How he's basically talked his way into like a prime time fight, and that's what he's bragging about. I've reached my goals, my dream. Your dream was to headline a fucking show on Channel 5. That was your fucking dream. That is your fucking dream. That is your limitations, right?
You want to dream bigger than that, really, didn't you?
I had a dream.
Well, if you look at his record as well, the 2 fights before Scarpa, it was your call in a 6-rounder, and then I think it was another 6-rounder in Germany. I'm not sure what undercard that was on. They probably weren't even televised, and then all of a sudden he just got lobbed in and headlined that fight against Scarpa, headlined a regular Saturday show. So they've just gone down this hill angle.
Was that not the one Katie Taylor headlined when she made her debut at Wembley Arena?
Which one was that?
The Scarpa fight.
Yeah, it might have been, but he headlined that.
Did he?
Yeah, that was the last fight.
I thought she did. Never mind.
No,
Crack on anyway.
Sure he did. No, it just shows you that they're so short term with him. They're short term with him, and he might. I don't think he's good enough to win a world title, but he might have something. But they've just lobbed him straight in, and I don't know. I'm quite interested to see what they do next. Can't be because I know Brian won't give a shit what they do next with him. What do you think they might do? Do you think they'll do the 8-round route, or do you think they'll put him into another sort of like all British fight?
Well, he's not going to learn anything. He's not going to be developed further on, is he? He'll get a few easy fights, and they'll chuck him in again. Maybe against a Scarpa type opponent, he'll win. Then he'll step up again, and he'll lose because he's not good enough. He's going to have a matchroom career. They might manufacture a world title out of him somewhere, and he'll just get battered, and we'll never see him again. And that's the sort of thing. Then he'll proclaim his world level. He'll have one of them careers like the Matchroom standard. Like Brian Rose, for example. Get that one world title fight, and then after that, it's just British title fights, and he's proclaiming how he's going to go on and then win a world title. And it's like, no, you're not, mate. You're shit. Deal with it.
Well, I'd tell him to go back down to 135. He's not a 140 pounder. Like, what was it? His check weight, like his 30-day check weight, he was 144.
Yeah.
Yeah, 144. Yeah.
Right. To see what his check weight, so I'm quite because you don't know whether like maybe he's not been training that day. He's maybe had something to eat and he's basically just come back for his training when he's got an empty stomach. He's sweating every now and then, and he's going to put weight back on. But even at that, he's not a light welterweight. Get him back down to lightweight. You know what? Put him back in lightweight. Stick him on a card against Scott Cardle. Between them are kind of math losses. Like fucking Cardle sells absolutely fuck all tickets. Ohara Davies is a big fucking retard.
That'd actually be quite a good fight. That they'd go to war them two because they're both shit. That'd
be quite good. Or even like a Masha Dodd. Stick him in there with a Masha Dodd. They could do that.
Aye,
but they won't.
Like when does Hearn ever match his own guys with each other? Like when does he do it?
Well, he actually said again, because I'm a sad cunt, I listen to all the IFL interviews because I do like to rage. He did say that this year he was going to start to match his guys together more, and that he needed to. Whether he's been out listening to fucking talking to Bob Arum or something, I don't know, but he did say he was going to start doing that.
He stables that shit. I don't know if he could get away with doing that.
Did any of you? Do you want to move on and talk about the cruiserweight draw and the super middleweight draw?
Can we talk about the quit first? Do you mind?
Oh, go on. Yeah, I forgot about the quit.
You know what?
don't mean-
Before
I
you
like-
go into the quick Macho, I want to ask you: do you class that right hand as a right check hook that put him down? Because that's a fucking beautiful punch. He timed him with it, backing off to the ropes, like I said, he's backing off to the ropes so that so Ohara Davies would just try and do his usual tee off, hit everyone on the gloves and arms, and he fucking timed that right hand to perfection. A fucking stunning fucking punch, stunning punch. I would maybe put that down as a right check hook. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't care what you want to call it. I just think it's more impressive that he blocked it. And as I said, if you don't ride away from the shot, if you just kind of lean into it, you can break it and then counter back. You call it a check hook if you want, but it's just more the speed. It's just more the nouts to defend it with the same hand and then counter back with it again and make sure you're in position. And when Ohara Davies, when you're so square on and you're so shit than like he is, you're never going to be able to draw your hand back. So he's probably got the opposite hand up to defend, but it's the hand that he's punches from. He's never going to be able to get it back quick enough. So fuck knows if you want to call it a check hook or not, but it's for me, it's more about defending it first. And he tried that a few times as well. If you go back and watch it, he tries to throw that hook a few times.
It was rapid as fuck as well. The camera didn't really pick it up. It was so quick. It went until the slow motion. You actually seen how good a punch it was.
I missed it, and I was right next to the corner. I missed it.
I was watching the TV and I missed it.
Right.
If Gorilla Productions has done a little 2-minute clip, I've got it up here watching it again in slow mo. It's fucking awesome.
Right. Tag me in that. Right. You know what I was impressed as well? See how quick he was just to kind of like take off, like just kind of switch for the body to the head. It was just kind of seamless. It was just really flawless. And like I speak about like kind of Crawford Burns fight all the time, and it was just like Crawford done that kind of switch. What's the word? Is it? What's that word where you're kind of shifting? He was shifting his fucking stance just so he could like move for like different positions with the body. And I'm not saying Josh done that, but like the way like Crawford was just so quick to move for the body to head, so like fucking Ricky didn't know what bit to cover up on, and like Josh was just doing that. He was just really mixed up well. And somebody like last week says, Ohara Davies is going to knock him out because he's a better fighter, he's got more power, and I don't rate like Shane McGuigan. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? I was like, Tony Sims is one of the worst fucking trainers in the UK, right? And like Shane McGuigan, for the age, Shane McGuigan, I don't even know is 30. He might be running about. It might not even be 30 yet. He's
not 30. I think he's like 28, 29 or something like that.
So he's not even 30 yet, and he's achieved more than most trainers in the UK. And you're trying to tell me he's not a good trainer. You're trying to tell me that Josh Taylor has not improved every fucking time. I know he had a bit of a tough fight in Vegas, but I told Josh he was really fucking disappointed with that. He's like, I wanted to stop him. I was like, look, sometimes these are the sort of fights that you need. You're maybe not want to blast people out all the time. I was like, you get like a tough 8-10 rounds in, it's probably going to do your world a good. And he's like, aye, but people have been saying that to us. I was like, aye. I was like, because people probably listen to what I'm saying and copy me.
Brian, to be fair, you hit the nail on the head last week when you talked about the camps, because I think if you look at all the sport, I do think boxers are the least self-aware sportsmen out of all sports, especially like independently self-aware. And
they're all insecure as fuck, though. That's the problem.
No, but if you look at, it's all about the teams they've got around him. So again, as Brian said last week, you look at Josh Taylor's team. He's got, Shane McGuigan might be a bit rapey looking, but he's rooted in reality. You've got Barry there, you've got Cole Frampton there. So they've got a team of people around there that they're not just fucking cheerleaders. But then you look at Matchroom and you've got Eddie Hearn blowing smoke up his arse. You've got Sims blowing smoke up his arse saying that he's the best and no lightweight would know what lightweight in the world beats him. You've got all the little gym rats in there just taking pictures of their six packs and having a whirl of a time. Then you've got all the fucking towie mob all around him saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. How can fucking spastic cunts like us see someone like Davies and just call it to a T, lay all his flaws completely bare? How do the people that work in the sport day in, day out not see this and not tell him? And because these boxers are they've got no self-awareness at all, having a team around you is so important. And that's why Davies saying I want to go back in again at a British level is a terrible idea. And I worry that he hasn't got the right people around him to say to him, look, mate, this is not a good idea. But Taylor's team, they're bang on the money. They are bang on the money. That is a good team to be around. A proper team. Proper like boxing people that know this shit.
Like Shane, like what I've been told is Shane does the training can't wear them. He'll like kind of diet and like eat the same stuff round about them. And I know they have to like live in London when they're doing it, so they need to get down there. They're all staying in that environment. Fucking living the same sort of life as the boxer, just so he understands that. He's a nutritionist, like if the beginning, so he knows all this stuff. People, I think it's more to do with like Barry McGuigan. Barry McGuigan's really intense. He's a really intense guy, and some people can't take to him, right? And like people have got a bit of fucking hate for Shane because of all of that as well. But the guy's a really fucking good trainer. Like he really is.
Well, they think Shane's been gifted it, don't they? Because of the McGuigan surname. He kind of got, well, not given Carl Frampton. Carl chose to go to him in the end, didn't he? But people perceive that Carl was taken away and then said, right, you're training with Shane now.
Right. Well, Shane admitted to me that if it wasn't for Carl Frampton, he wouldn't have been noticed. So he puts a lot of stock in like Frampton, making him the trainer as a day, because like let's be honest, like if he didn't have Carl Frampton, it would have been a struggle for him as well. So like it's not as if he's no grateful for where he is, and he doesn't think like, oh, I would have got here without like my dad and all that. Of course, but I don't grudge like fucking Eddie Hearn doing what he does because he got handed it with his dad. Like MD in that position would do the same. I tell you, see if my dad was a multi-millionaire, I wouldn't be working a fucking day in my life because I would be just like leeching off him. I don't even know why Eddie Hearn fucking works. Right? It makes me sick that he wants to work when he's got all the money under the sun and the fucking the life and the family and stuff like that. But you can't like begrudge somebody like getting by in life because of their parents. Is that not what the fucking parents are meant to be doing there for? They're meant to give you a better life than they had in the first place. So, well, of course, Shane's going to take advantage of that. Any person would do that. But to turn around and say that he's not a good trainer is absolutely fucking ludicrous. He actually proved it. Tony Sims had absolutely not a stitch on him. And I said for day one that Tony Sims isn't a good trainer and Ricky Burns will get nothing out of being. People will get anything out of Ricky Burns being in that gym is other fighters, because they'll know how hard he does in training and works. Everybody else will probably fucking pick up more than Ricky will. So I don't think Ricky should have ever left Billy Nelson. But then again, I don't want to go back down that fucking road because it's just basically Eddie Hearn again. But
do you want to talk about the quit?
Oh Jesus! Every time I watch it, it just gets worse and worse. He got up for that punch. He could have just stayed down and just said it was too much for him. He got up, and then when Taylor went over to him, to swing another punch, he touched his eye. He did. It's nothing to do with his nose. He touched his eye, I think, and then he just turned his back. And then people have got the cheek to turn around and say, "What did Taylor fucking punch him for?" Hold on a minute. It's boxing. Defend at all times. I couldn't give a fuck if he punched him, man. He was starched out and had to get stretchered out of there. It was absolutely, you defend.
He waved his arm, didn't he? He turned his face and then waved his arm, like did a sort of no signal with his glove.
I've seen a fight before that a guy's got his back completely turned to another fighter and the fighter just runs to the side and fucking hooks him right in the face. I can't remember what fight it was, but I've seen it. You don't turn your back on.
Tell you.
Well, you fight until the referee says break anyway, didn't you? Or the referee stops the fight. You carry on fighting. If the referee stops the fight, you just go over. You carry on.
He got the nastiness in him as well. Like, that was personal to him. That he weren't playing games. He, like you said, he wasn't about touching gloves and being all matey. He wanted to fucking hurt him. And as soon as he turned his back, he just went straight in for the kill. I've got a lot of time for that, to be fair. With the quit, it's a weird one. I don't really like to call boxers quitters. I will never go on Twitter and say that they quit. But there's something
you did with Kovalev. You did with Kovalev.
No, but I wouldn't go and tweet him and say he quit. But it was almost like Kovalev-esque in a way that he was just like, there's almost something. I'm not like Brian who wants to see boxers getting killed in the ring, but like you can fudge it. There's ways you can fudge it. I think you can mistime the count and then get up at 9, or you can wait for your corner to pull you out. Or if you watch that Josh Kelly, the guy that he stopped with the 6 left hooks, you can see him looking at his trainer, and his trainer's like motioning, no, stay down, stay down. But I think there's something really like pure about a guy getting his shit fucking pushed in for like 7 rounds and then just going, putting his hand up, going, I've had enough. I'm kind of really satisfied with that, because he just, like, mentally, everything just washed away from him, and he was like, that's it, I'm done. There's nothing I can do anymore. That's probably my favourite way to quit, if there is such a thing. Because I know some people were raging about it, but I loved it. I thought he made the story better. Like if he was booking it, what a perfect way to book it. So I had him to go out like that. Perfect.
Well, with Brook, they could defend it by saying he was injured, but with this one, he clearly wasn't. So there's nothing they can defend it. It was a quit.
Yeah,
simple as that.
It was a pure as it gets.
He just stopped fighting.
Yeah.
At least Brook was injured.
The only thing I would say about Brook, though, is that I kind of think Ohara went more to the well than Brook did. Certainly against Golovkin and Spence. I do think Ohara, to me anyway, looked like he gave it more of a go. I know we're talking completely different levels.
No, Brook was holding his own in that Spence fight until the eye went again. If the eye went, I know some people don't think it did.
No, he wasn't getting the shit beaten out of him. The fight was slowly getting away from him, and you knew how it was going to end. But I don't think he bit down as much as Ohara did, especially after coming back from the knockdown in the third round. On the fourth round, he did have a go. He was swinging, but he had nothing. It was so bad that nothing that he did could put a dent in Taylor, and that's what I mean. He broke his spirit, he broke his will.
Yeah, but no, you don't get to quit because you're losing a fight. I don't.
Well, that's what Brook did.
Yeah, but Brook at least had an injury. Whether we believe he did or not, we'll say he did. Ohara, there was nothing wrong with him. His noses were blocked, whatever the fuck that means. He quit because he had a blocked nose. I've got a cold. I didn't go to work.
He quit. He got. I mean, I'm watching the punch that dropped him again. Like he leans in with a left hook, and then he kind of leans his head in again. Taylor's upright. He whips in that fucking right hand. He kind of got up again, and he was just like, "I'm fucked. I can't go on anymore." I don't know. I probably sound like a hypocrite, but I don't know. I just think it's it's like the playground bully getting his shit fucking beat up in the park after school or something, and then end up just going, "Look, no more, I'm done." I don't know. I think it's fucking brilliant. I think I prefer that than to him actually getting sparked.
Nah, sparked is better.
What did you think of the low blow in round 5? I thought it was pretty low, but I thought the way that fucking Taylor reacted to it was pretty bad, because then he fucking get punched again when he was trying to let me.
He hit with the right hand, didn't he?
Do you think it was low?
At the time, I did, yeah.
It was definitely low. Taylor looked away, didn't he, and banged himself in the bollocks. And what's his face? Howard Foster just said, "Fight on."
So basically, protect. It's like somebody just says to me, like, protect yourself at all times. Like Josh fucking should have protected himself at all times and get punched. Ohara Davies didn't protect himself when he turned his back and get punched again. But Nicholas Waters is probably the worst quit, just because he just packed in because it wasn't a competitive, right? Then you look at Sosa, who had the same sort of issues, but he didn't quit. The corner just basically fucking threw in the towel for him, but he wanted to fight on. But this is for me, I can't remember any UK fights that's the quit's even worse than this. This is literally the fucking worst. He got up
this
there.
Is satisfying. Is this not because Waters just went like, "Fuck, I'm getting embarrassed here." Like, it was almost like a Duran, like a no mass type thing. Right. But is this not more satisfying because Davies did get the shit beat out of him? He got the shit beat out of him. He got all the bravado beat out of him. I don't know. I'm really happy with this.
It was a beatdown, but he didn't get the shit beat out of him. If you know what I mean. He wasn't like battered. His face wasn't cut open. He didn't look a fucking mess.
He was getting hit. Just tapping that body big.
He wasn't beat to a pulp, but
he was. He beat the fucking air out of him, mate. Those body shots were fucking, especially the ones around the rib cage. They were absolutely crippling him. I don't like the way you're justifying the quit here. I'm not justifying the quit. I'm saying that in terms of the story of Ohara Davies being the heel character he was, being the prick that he was, to get in the ring, to get totally outclassed, to get totally dominated, to get dropped off a jab, but he shit himself and didn't know what to do. He gets back up, tries to fight on, looks terrible, gets fucking beat the shit out of for another 3 or 4 rounds to the body, then gets dropped heavy. He does get back up again, and then he's just like, "I can't take this anymore. I cannot take this beating anymore." I find that's quite satisfying.
I was going to post this question to the asylum, but I totally forgot because I was fucking out watching Spider-Man and that yesterday. More satisfying for a fighter to get a clean knockout, or it makes somebody actually fucking just make a pro boxer physically quit in a fight.
That quit, I would say Taylor would get more will get more satisfaction out of making Ohara Davies do what he did, because that's humiliating. And in boxing, you don't shake that. No matter what happens in his career, he's never going to shake that quit. And I'm not saying he didn't quit. I'm saying he did. But I'm happy that he quit in such a pure way.
So what would you rather have then? Like a spectacular highlight reel knockout or make someone quit?
No, but this is personal. So what I'm saying is, I'm sure it would have been nice for Taylor just to go out and put one on his jaw. Say that right hook, for example. Like, fair play, because that, I'm watching it again. It's a brutal shot. If Davies just fucking went out on his back, no one would say nothing. I'm sure Taylor would feel great about it. But the fact that he got up and said, and then Taylor got a chance to go at him again, and then he turned around and went, "No, I can't take it anymore." I would imagine if you ask Taylor, he's quite satisfied with that.
Nah, I'd rather see someone like on a stool needing oxygen, mate.
Okay,
like
so let's just say,
George, I reckon, like Carl Frotch, George Groves, let's use that example. Them two hated each other. I bet Frotch gets more satisfaction out of seeing that knockout every single time than if George Groves would have quit, but no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, I don't know, you know. I mean, but that was like the best punch ever that he's ever thrown. And that was an absolute fucking beauty. But I don't know. I mean, what happened if Taylor stayed down? You can't tell me if Taylor stayed down from that right hook. No one would say anything. Oh, sorry, yeah. I always get fucking mixed up. Yeah, no one would say anything, would they? You can't tell me it's not better that he quit. It's more humiliating.
I suppose you've got a point. It is more humiliating. And he'll always feel like he owns his soul in a way, I guess.
Yeah, he does. He's finished him. And what's Davies been doing? He's been trying to justify that he didn't quit. And he's always going to have that hanging over. And if you go on his Twitter feed, anytime he tweets, everyone just goes, quit. Brilliant. It's like in wrestling when you tap out. You take ages to shake that when you tap out. No wrestlers ever want to tap out. Never want to submit. Well, what do you think?
But my opinion was that I thought that maybe like a clean knockout. But then the more I thought about it, MD can get knocked out. Absolutely, MD can get knocked out in a fight.
Exactly.
And it's always going to be like, you're always going to have a highlight, but to make somebody quit, you don't really, you never really get that in boxing. You don't. But
no,
just
it's been a recent spate of quitting, isn't it? But before that, there ain't been many. Like you say, we had Walters, Brooke, Matisse a little bit while before that.
But there's no argument, though, is there? There's no argument here. There's no he was injured. He was no, mate. You got up and then you couldn't take any more. You put your hand up and said, no more. You couldn't take it. And then Taylor still just went steaming in there.
It's like,
and laid a few digs in. Oh, brilliant.
It's like if he went down with that right hand and never got back up, he could turn around and say, look, I went into the trenches with Taylor.
Yeah, good
basically
point.
stood in the ground with him and we were fucking throwing it. It just so happens that he caught me before I caught him. And then they would be saying, give us a rematch and that. But nobody wants a fucking rematch in this fight other than that mad spastic Essex fan for earlier on.
I have seen people say, like, you only lost because you went into the lion's den and stuff like that. It's like, and you can just turn around and say he quit. He didn't get jobbed on the cards. He didn't get hit by Hail Mary. He did quit. So I guess you're right.
He quit. And another thing I want to say as well, just quickly before we move on, because it's been annoying me. I've seen it on forums and that people, and on Twitter, people going, "I'll credit for," as you say, going into Lion's Den. No credit whatsoever. He got a career high payday, probably the biggest payday he might ever fucking get, because Hearn, and Hearn's been out saying they didn't want to do it on our show. That's absolute bollocks. He put a 50 grand bid, a 70 grand bid. Cyclone put their money where their mouth was, and Hearn is not his manager. Hearn's a fucking promoter. And if Ohara is as poor as he made out and he fucking couldn't afford even a bottle of water, he's not going to turn down 120 grand. So I don't understand this. I would give him credit. No, they went there completely deluded, the whole team, thinking he was going to win. Took massive money to go and do his job. How the fuck? And Hearn's always said, if you're good enough, the ring don't matter. And now everyone's giving him a load of credit for going to the Lions Den. Mate, that's your job. And you got the biggest fucking payday of your life to go and do your job. He's getting zero credit from me for taking that fight. Because what else was he going to do? Can't run your mouth like that and then not take it. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but that was the thing that pissed me off the most. What, giving him credit for taking a career I paid?
Why didn't Hearn just offer the same money then and just say, look, man,
he didn't want to. That's what I mean. He didn't want to.
Exactly. We'll counter that offer by offering the exact same money and have it on Sky. You try to tell me Taylor would not have fucking took that fight? You're fucking right, he would have. Because I tell you one thing, Taylor didn't fight that way because he was in Scotland. That's the way Taylor fights. He's a fucking. I'm not saying world class, but amateur wise, he's probably world class, right? He said a fucking good upbringing. He's fought some of the fucking best in the world as an amateur. That's the way he fights. He didn't change his fucking style just because of that. And just before we move on, you know how, like I mentioned, that I've always noticed a black eye and like in the left side of his face, and always seems to have a bit of blemish of that. Well, Andy McCart told me that I've been told that Taylor used to be a bit of a fucking. He is a bit of a fucking hothead. I think he might have been a bit of a boy when he was younger. He gets scalped in the face with a golf club when he was a boy, so he's got a scar on his face. So that's what it notices. So I don't know whether maybe kind of gets marked up from time to time because of that. So that's that kind of dispels that story. But I'm just really fucking happy that Josh Taylor won. I'm so happy. Hearn was fucking raging. Hearn was fucking raging, man.
Sorry, just Carpy, one more thing, and everyone, before we move on, I do think we should give credit to Cyclone as well, because they put their money where their mouth was. They backed their boy. I've got no idea if that that arena was full. No idea if they made their money back or not. But that was a real good fight. That was a lot of fun. There was a lot of eyes on it. People in my office that are not massive boxing fans were talking about it. A lot of people tuned in and took balls from the McGuigans to do that and back their boy. Something that Hearn doesn't do particularly often, so we should give them credit for that. Actually,
they done it with Cal Frampton and Kiko Martinez too.
Yeah, I know, but that's
like basically.
Didn't Matt call him Team Beggar for that fight because the government paid for it or something, didn't they?
The government fucking paid the funding for the arena getting put up because they knew the amount of money it was going to bring into the economy. I would tell you right now, Cal Frampton's probably the biggest fucking sports star in Northern Ireland. I know they might say Rory McIlroy. No. Biggest fucking star in that country. So they know how much he generates. And they obviously made their money back. So why wouldn't you? If Hearn could get fucking money off the Tory government, you try to tell me he wouldn't do the same fucking thing? Fuck off.
The next fight's on Channel 5 as well.
Yeah, that's quite good for him as well. Get a bit of exposure. I've seen, just quickly before we say this, I've seen people moaning at Carl Frampton that his fight's on free-to-air TV. I don't understand people. I just do not get it. People saying, "Oh, you deserve to be fighting on pay-per-view." I just think to myself, what is wrong with people? Why would you willingly pay 20 quid for something that you could get for free? I don't understand
that thing, because as you said before, it's a sign of quality, isn't it? It's like the Olympian things. They think it's a sign of quality.
Yeah, there's people moaning about this ITV pay-per-view as well, and that card is actually solid. I'm not going to pay for it. Going to pay for anything. But
it's a good card to be
It's a fucking good card. It's like if I was going to pay for one, then I'd be more inclined to pay for this than one of her shit shows with a freak main event.
Yeah, agree.
Right, do you want to move on to the World Boxing Super Duper Series, Drew?
Aye.
Did you watch it, Macho?
I kind of had it on the iPad at the time, but I was so engrossed with what was going on the Taylor fight, I just couldn't really pay any attention. As I said, I was just standing, pacing up and down like a fucking spastic.
Well, they did the super middleweight drill first, and they did that before the Taylor fight actually started, and it made it seem like a really big deal. It seemed important. I mean, that super middleweight's crap, really. I'm not that impressed by the lineup, or I'm quite looking forward to Groves starting out Jamie Cox, but
I love that pick as well. I love that pick. Groves ultimate troll mode, saying it was an easy fight.
I was moaning to Ainsley, if you can believe that or not. Ainsley had an argument with someone, but I was hoping that they drew like out of a hat or something, because I thought, oh, they're picking something. They're just going to pick shit fights. But Groves genuinely picked Cox because he wants to beat him, didn't he? I know he said it was the easiest pick, but I think that's just Groves being Groves.
I thought he would do that because A, it is an easy fight for him. B, I mean, and Groves said as well that Cox used to be like a light middleweight or something, or a light welterweight, or whatever he was, a welterweight back in the day. I think he might have been a super welterweight, and then he was middleweight, whatever. And then also he gets to troll Hearn as well, and we know how much he dislikes Hearn and how much he likes trolling him. And then we get the Shane McGuigan and the Eddie Hearn thing again. So it's a nice little story there. He was always going to pick Cox, and fair play to him for doing it as well.
So we've got Chris Eubank or Abraham versus Anvi Yildirim. I've not seen him because I'm a casual fuck, but my boy McKetch says he's decent. We got Callum Smith and Scogland.
War Scogland.
Huh?
War Scogland.
Yeah. We got Groves versus Cox and Bramer versus Rob Brown. Out of them, the seeds versus the unseeded, I think the only one that might win is Rob Brown against Bramer, because he looked done and he quit against Cleverly, didn't he? And he's coming down in weight that he hasn't been at for ages.
Am I right that Groves has got the hardest run to the final and Callum Smith's got the easiest?
Yeah. Well, we don't know how good that Rob Brown is, because the winner of the first seeds fights the winner of the third seeds, and the second fights the fourth. So Callum Smith could fight Jurgen Bramer,
He's a middleweight though.
Who? Is he coming up, is he?
He said that he wanted the Billy Joe Saunders or fucking Lemieux fight or something like that. And says when he get the opportunity to fight in this, he took it.
Oh, fair play.
Does anyone know how this? I know it's not cool to talk about money and pay-per-view and stuff, but does anyone know how this TV format works yet? Do we know that yet?
Well, Hearn said if you're going to show the fights, you've got to buy the whole lot. And Sky aren't sure if they're going to do it.
What, so he's going to give up Cox and Callum Smith to whatever and whoever?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, apparently, you can't pick and choose what fights you want to buy the whole lot or you buy none.
That's good. That makes sense.
That is exactly what I said in the WhatsApp chat. I believe that, you know how like somebody was asking, how's this amount of money? I was like, I believe that all the TV money is getting put into one pot and they'll distribute it with everybody because like it's and obviously ANZ fucking no that's not right. Aye, okay, ANZ, just because you want to argue black is white. And I was like, but it's their fucking tournament, their rules, and if they'll be selling the TV rights to the UK, Germany, or like America, all the countries that the fighters are for. So they'll be selling it. So the money just goes back into one big pot, and that's how they're going to be paying their fighters. That's what I'm taking for it. That sounds the most fun.
Brian, sorry. I mean, sorry if this sounds really cynical, but let's just say you've got a final and you've got George Groves against Callum Smith. Now, especially if they've got to come for a couple of fights first, Callum Smith raises his profile. I mean, that is obviously we'd rage about it, but that is something that Hearn could quite easily package up and stick on pay-per-view and probably make quite a lot of money out of it. Are we honestly thinking or saying that the Sauerlands are not going to look to deviate from whatever this initial plan is? I can see this falling through. I mean, the Eubanks. I mean, surely they're tied into ITV pay-per-view. How's that going to work? If it, you know,
the thing with the Eubanks is you can't tie them down to nothing, can you? They're slippery. They do what the fuck they want. But they've obviously been offered good money, otherwise they wouldn't have got into it.
Yeah, the prize pot seems
good.
What if ITV buy the rights to it and have like the likes of Eubank on pay-per-view, but have the other fights on ITV?
Well, allegedly, Hayes announcing his TV deal on Tuesday with a signing of Joe Joyce. Obviously, he's linked up with Richard Schaefer, the Haymaker Ringstar thing. Schaefer's doing this, so I think Hayes going to get it on whatever platform they have.
What's that? Say that again.
Hayes announcing his TV deal on Tuesday and the signing of Joe Joyce. He's obviously done that Haymaker Ringstar thing with Richard Schaefer, hasn't he?
He?
So
yeah, that's been a while. They've done it ages ago.
Yeah, I know, but they still haven't got a TV deal or nothing, or they've not announced a TV deal, have they?
And you said, do you know what a TV deal is?
Not a clue. Someone said it's Dave. I don't know whether to believe that or not, but could you see David Hay and Richard Schaefer having this? Obviously, because Schaefer's got his hands in this pie anyway.
But
rather than selling it out, keeping the money in house.
Joe Joyce?
David Hay. I've told you that 3 times.
Why?
I don't know why he signed him. Ask David Hay.
He's going to be fighting Bellew again. Why would they take a TV fucking contract when he's going to fucking fight Bellew on pay-per-view again?
Well, he doesn't have to appear on the contract, does he? It's his promotional company. That Haymaker Ringstar thing he signed up with Schaefer.
Joe Joyce.
He's old. He's 30. Yeah, he's old. He's old.
And is that who Dave Allen got offered?
Yeah.
Have you seen like that Skoglund fight? He must be quite big because he's coming down for like heavyweight.
Yeah, Skoglund. He's not a massive light heavyweight, but he's obviously big. Bigger than a super middle, anyway.
Size is Usyk, I know, not in like fucking weight wise or that, but
Joe Joyce is 31. He'll be 32 in September. So they can't hang around with him.
I need to start watching some of this Eric Skoglund.
You know what Hayes took that for, don't you? He's going to basically try and fucking fast track him to the Femi fight, then cash out. Just basically try to get money. Because you know there's like Fury there, Hayes there, Dubois coming on up, there's like Femi, there's Fury, there's a fair amount of fucking British like heavyweights and there's money to be made, so like Hayes obviously a slag. So
a heavyweight super series would be fucking awesome.
Aye.
So do one of them. Never going to happen, but they're great.
Who's going to win the super middleweight one?
I want Groves to win it. I don't.
Has he got 3 fights? Another 3 in him?
Yeah,
Definitely think he's at
you
the
keep
top
saying this.
coming down.
I don't think he's that. Well, he hasn't. You're thinking Groves is a lot more done than he actually is.
Well, I think the world title, winning the world title might help him, but I do think that he was close to suicide. Well, we know that because he was in all sorts of fucking bother. I do think that he's, what you said before. I think your analogy was perfect about Vlad. We know he's over the hill. How far down is it? And I'm convinced that Groves and De Gaulle are over the top of their hills, and then now it just depends how quickly they go down it and where they are now. But I don't know enough about Brandt, Yildirim, or Scotland to say with any confidence, but I don't know how good those guys are. But Groves will beat Smith, he'll beat Cox, he'll beat Bramer. Defo.
Well, he'd have to fight Eubank Jr.
What next?
Yeah, after Cox, if Eubank Jr. beats that
There's no
Yildirim.
way,
Or Eubank Jr.
I just don't. I'd love to see that happen.
Why are you so negative, man? You sound like Ainsley. Cheer up.
Because
fucking hell.
You think they're going to fight on a non-pay-per-view platform?
Yeah.
So,
well, we don't know yet, do we? We don't know. Until we know for definite, then we can't really say anything.
So we've what the way it's working out here. Groves is potentially going to have to fight 3 British fighters to win this.
Yeah.
And like Hearn's not going to try and get Sky to buy the rights to that.
He's got 2 pay-per-view fights there, easy if he wants to.
That is a major fuck up. If Sky don't take that, I hope Sky don't get it. I hope ITV do get it, and I hope ITV fucking just put them on their pay-per-views. Just
would BT not dip their hands in their pockets? Because you've got solid fights there. You got all the cruiserweight ones are amazing. And it's going to continue to be amazing. I mean, Usyk's going to kill Hawk. He's going to literally stretcher him out. Gassiev and Roger Roderick, that was already agreed because it's the IBF. They obviously get funny, don't they? That was his mandatory anyway. So that they didn't pick. That one was already sorted. You got Bradis and Perez. I don't know what to expect of Perez coming down. We seen him at Cruiser, didn't we, on that Eddie Hearn show in Belfast, but that lasted like 9 seconds or whatever it was. And we got Dorticos versus the Russian hype job.
I don't rate Bradis the way you all rate him. I think he's shit.
Yeah, we had this discussion before. You and Macho, you and Macho are against the cruiserweights except Usyk, and Macho thinks Usyk's shit as well.
I think Ward destroys him.
You're an idiot.
No. To be honest,
fucking cave your skull in Vegas.
Carp, you seem to know more about this tournament than I do because I don't know fuck all about it really. I think Ainsley was saying that the fight nights will have like 2 and 2.
No, we don't know. I thought they was going to announce something on the what they call it, the gala show, but they didn't announce fuck all. What they did was pick the opponent.
Because that would be quality. If they have like 2 super middleweight fights and then 2 cruiserweight fights on every card. Again, I don't want to give anyone any ideas, but there's a lot of pay-per-view potential cards there that could easily be built. I'd be fucking... Yeah, I'm with Brian. I'd be shocked if a Sky don't want to get involved in this. I mean, it depends. If they really think Callum's legit, there's 2 pay-per-view fights there, easy, if they want it, or BT. But that's going to be fucking quality if they lump the cruiserweights and the middleweights together. But again, once you've seen one cruiserweight, you've seen them all anyway, so I don't need to do any research on them.
You're an idiot. Who do you think's winning that cruiserweight one, Brian? You're obviously going Usyk, aren't you?
Oh, definitely. I'm picking the upset special though to win.
To beat Bradis?
Aye. I fucking really don't. I know, like, he's the hipster's fucking choice, like Bradis, but he's small, I know. He's really, really fucking small looking, and
he can bang.
So can everybody that way, and I just find that he's shit. He goes in a China shop where he's just want to come forward and fucking absolutely have it. And I'm also picking who's Hammer fighting.
Dorticos.
I'm picking that because I don't know much about that Dorticos. I know he's got a good win against
Kalenga, was it?
Aye.
Yeah.
But I'm picking fucking Russian Hammer because I think he can absolutely kill any cunt. I know he can be killed as well because he doesn't look as if he carries much of a chin, but I'm fucking rolling. I'm rolling with the upset special with him.
Do you know what? I really wanted to see Gassiev and Kudryashov, the Russian Hammer. That would have been chaos.
Gassiev must be a heavyweight. He is absolutely humongous.
Yeah, he's massive, isn't he? He's like a man mountain.
He looked twice the size of everybody. He's fucking huge.
So if you were picking them, we'd have Usyk and Mike Perez in the semi-final, and Gassiev and Kudryashov in the second semi-final. The final everyone wants is you want an Usyk and Gassiev final, don't you?
Is Gassiev the one who fought
Lebedev.
Lebedev?
Yeah.
Just plodded around the ring. Yeah, with big Eastern European meathead. Yeah, right that one.
You know what? I think that would probably be the best like semis, right? Because you've got Kudryashov and Gassiev, who are absolutely mutant punchers, right? And you've got Perez and Usyk, who are two of the boxers. And I fucking think Perez is really, really good. Definitely on the gear. He's definitely on the gear. But I like Perez. Mainly because he's not just a big fucking...
And because he's based himself in Ireland.
He isn't a big meathead, and he's not one of the ones that's just going, right, fuck it, we'll go punch for punch.
They're all fucking meatheads.
Gassiev just... You know how like you're at a nightclub and there's just one big guy that's just fucking killing every cunt? That's Gassiev. He is a terrifying human being. He's got... Like, you know how like the people take steroids and their heads are huge? That's him. He's just... That picture of all the cruiserweights didn't look real because he was so much bigger than him.
If you look at the records, I can't see one of these fighters going 12. You've got Wozlacek, 53 fights, 37 KOs. Gassiev, 24 fights, 17 KOs.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Who's Wozlacek? I've never seen him.
He's an ex-champion. He's pretty decent. He's knocking on it, but he's 35 though. You've got Huck, 45 fights, 27 KOs. Obviously, then you've got the 40 wins. Usyk, 12 fights, 10 KOs. Perez, 25 fights, few losses, 14 KOs. Bradis got the 22 fights, 18 KOs. Kudryashov, 22 fights, 21 KOs. All the fights he's won have been knockouts. Right. Dorticos, 21 fights, 21 wins, 20 KOs. It's just going to be fucking bombs away in all of them, except the Usyk fight, who actually tries to box.
Do you know anything about the schedule when the first round of fights? Have they announced anything yet?
I told you this. I don't know. No one knows.
No, I asked you, how do you know how it's going to work? I don't know if they've set a time frame for when they want to finish it by.
I'm pretty sure she said they were starting the fights in August and September. It's going to be in 9 months in total, so you get the 3 fights in 9 months.
No,
which is asking a bit. I think that would be delayed. If an injury comes in, it's going to fuck it up, isn't it?
I think that Canadian Ryan says that the fights are going to be in September. Then I think that they're going to be at the end of the year or the start of the year. Then the final's going to be in May or something like that.
Yeah, she said the final in May. She definitely said the final in May. I don't know if they'll do both the finals on the same card, but that'd be good.
Well, that's what I mean. You'd think they would do that, wouldn't you?
You'd hope so. I want to get the passport out for the final, really, if it's a good one.
Oh, I'll go to like some like Poland or something like that. I'll not go to some fucking mad backwater like Eastern European place where somebody will blowtorch your fucking face. And
we was going to go to Kazakhstan.
Because you showed me a picture of a prostitute and a fucking...
right, do you want to talk about Eubank Jr. and Arthur Abraham? You got any interest in that? You'll be watching that?
So who do you think who have you got to win the Cruiserweight?
Usyk.
I can't talk with any confidence because they're all the same. So I will, before the first round of fights, I will spend some time watching some of them and just sort of close my eyes and pick one because I might as well.
I think
if they were black and they used their head and they punch people in the dick, you'd be well up for him, wouldn't you?
Oh, mate, if
all you need is one dirty bastard there who uses his elbows and his head. You'd be right into it.
No,
I honestly don't understand how you can watch more and think, oh fuck me, he's amazing, and not look at Usyk and go, oh shit.
Well, no, I did. To be fair, like everyone was hyping Usyk, so I watched his last couple of fights, and yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He's decent, but I definitely don't think he's the fucking second coming that all you guys were saying he was. Like I said, there's certain things he does that I think are quite amateurish. All jokes aside, I'm not saying he's fucking toilet because he's definitely not. But I didn't think he was his. I was expecting to see this amazing slick white boxer, and that's not what I saw. But no,
I honestly don't know what you're expecting. He's £200. He's not going to be fucking Lomachenko, is he? They're units. They're units of blokes. They're not. I don't know what you expect them to be. I like some people call him a £200 Lomachenko. I mean, he's obviously not going to be that, is he? Maybe you can't be Lomachenko and £200. You're just being overly critical.
Racist against Eastern Bloc. No, but
I'm probably what you are. Yeah,
I'm being honest.
Dirty Greek.
As in, telling you that I am ignorant to it because I've not seen all the guys fight, and I don't particularly enjoy a lot of the cruiserweight fights. I do just find it's quite ploddy and just geezers just wailing into each other with very little thought. I could be way wrong, and if I am wrong, and once the tournament starts and we start watching, I'm more than happy to come on here and say I've got it wrong. But from what I've seen so far, it's been pretty much meh.
Well, that's fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion, even if it is wrong.
And again, and I'll 100% come on here and say, yes, I'm completely wrong. And yeah, I've got it all wrong. And I'm sure the fights will be great and I'll love it. But I mean, I can't just sit here and say I'm going to pick him to win because I haven't seen enough of any of them to be fair.
Great radio.
Before, what is the actual boxing website? Because I'm trying to find it. What the fuck is it called?
Just search them on Twitter. They got their...
I know when I'm on just fucking Google. Like, you type in super middleweight or cruiserweight
just put in World Boxing Super Series.
I keep getting the fucking WWE Cruiserweight Classic 205.
No, they sent it earlier on. It's xhamster.com.
just put in Google World Boxing Super Series.
World Boxing. Right, anyway, go on, crack on about you.
Oh, you said you was 30s. Are you like late 30s? Because technology, you don't seem to have a grasp on.
No, I'm definitely not late 30s. I'm the Brent, I'm 30s. World Box. See, I still can't find a website. It's fucking shit.
You're a retard. Brian, have you got any interest in Abraham and Eubank Jr.?
Aye, because I believe that he's going to be able to get the fucking stoppage with Abraham. I've never rated Abraham. I think it's made to do with the fact that I can't really remember Abraham at middleweight. I might have missed a lot of his fights. And for the minute he went up to super middleweight, he's been fucking shit and born. He was like he was a killer at middleweight, but he's just been fucking awful. I don't understand how Germans are so into their boxing when they just either like create shite fighters or they adopt shite fighters.
Yeah, they've had to draft this one in as well, haven't they? It's not even like he's German, he's Armenian.
I know. Same with Marco Huck. Marco Huck's with Bosnian, isn't he? At least Marco Huck was a bit entertaining, but their fighters are shite. But there better be some streams for this because I ain't paying for that.
There were streams last time.
Life is fucking outstanding for that.
Yeah, Hearn watched the stream, didn't he?
Aye.
Yeah.
You bastard. No, man, this card's quite decent. It's good that fucking Galahad's not on it, the wee chunky bastard.
The thing is, you know how this fight's going to go. I mean,
I think Galahad is on it.
Yeah, I think Galahad is still on it.
Yeah, he's fighting Cayetano, the bloke quick stop last time.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's actually a good step up for him.
It's a decent little card.
Yeah, we've got, I don't know if you want to call it a world title fight, but we've got the IBO, obviously with Eubank Jr, and we've got Selby defending his IBF, which he should have defended in Vegas against Barros.
He should have been fighting Carl Frampton. He shouldn't have been a greedy bastard, and he could have been fighting in Belfast at the end of the month. The
McGuigan shouldn't be so skint. They should offer proper money if they're going to try and get a world champion over.
Fucking skint McGuigan.
Why didn't they just ask the government for money with their hand out again? Tramps.
Real shame.
Yeah, we got Martin Ward versus Anto Kakachi as well. Was Kakachi formerly of Cyclone?
I don't know if it was he just wasn't getting enough fights of that.
Because he's a Belfast boy, isn't he?
Aye. He's quite a big looking cunt for the weight, is it?
Yeah, he fought on the Titanic quarter card, so he must have been with him.
Aye. Actually,
yeah, 2014, yeah.
Should we do some predictions then for this one? What does it matter?
I'm going. I know Abraham's tough as shit, but I think he's really on his last legs, and this. I could maybe see this him being his last fight because he doesn't need the money. He's meant to be absolutely worth an absolute mint. I'm going for a Eubank late stoppage. A
British stoppage or a proper stoppage?
I just think it'll be like an E Honda hand slap material where he throws that many punches and Abraham can't get out of the way of him. You know how the Brit will just jump in and say, "Oh, you're no punching back." Where like if you probably kind of watch back, like Eubank's threw maybe 100 punches and landed about 8.
Yeah, I can go along with it. There's a bit of me that thinks Eubank might tire himself out just by winging away millions of punches in 2 minutes 30, and then Abraham just coming back for his 30-second burst. He's not going to win any rounds. Not over here, anyway. Not fighting like that. So he either loses a 120, 108, or for some reason Eubank Jr. ain't got the engine everyone assumes he has, and he tires himself out.
I've never fucking had any issue with Eubank's gas tank. I I think he's got his dad's genetics. Maybe not his like punch resistance in his chin, but he's definitely got his dad's fucking gas tank. Where he'll probably be able to go 12. I know like with that Saunders fight, I don't know why he done that. Like maybe he wasn't confident in himself, but I think he could basically fucking maybe do like a kind of Joe Calzaghe where he could probably just throw so many punches each round and just keep doing it for 12 rounds.
Sorry, can I just jump in very quickly before we get back to that? I don't know if anyone's seen a tweet a couple of hours ago. Someone's tweeted Josh Taylor saying Josh Taylor's tweeted that picture of him holding O'Hara as a baby. Someone's tweeted him saying about a bad loser, and his response: couldn't give a single fuck. I don't like the man. I certainly don't respect him after all the mouthing and then quitting like a little bitch. He is fucking got a dog in him, isn't he? He's a boy. Anyway, sorry, carry on. Sorry, Brian.
Oh, I'm seeing it now. Oh, fucking, the Josh is my kind of fucking man. Fucking love Josh. He might be my new man crush. He might get into my team fucking sexy with like Lemieux, Cristiano and that, and Barry Jones.
What about Linares? Is he not in there?
But me and Linares had a moment in Vegas. Had a nice fucking moment, and I put my hand on his woman's tight waist, and it was sexual.
We've got a decent little card in America that's on Box Nation as well. Burchelt versus Takmura, Jezreel Corrales, and Joe Smith Jr. versus Sully B, which I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's good. Is it on Box Nation, is it?
Yeah.
Does that mean BT or just Box Nation?
Box Nation.
Only.
That Burchelt's a nasty, nasty bastard.
Yeah, he kind of crept up on me from nowhere. You know, you get the Mexicans just appear from there and they're just shit up. I know Vargas was like teetering on the cliff and Burchelt just beat him off it.
That's when he fucking Nyota's fucking fat lovers Burchelt keeps going on.
Burchelt, did Jamie Jupp not get sent over to Mexico to fight Burchelt? Because Jamie Jupp beat Mitchell Smith, and his prize was go over and get fucked over by some tough Mexican.
Aye. I'm going to.
Did you say Naotas is one of Burchelt's?
He's always going on about fucking Lomachenko ducking him and all that shit. You know how he's a mad fucking creep.
Well, we got Corrales on this card would indicate that perhaps they're going to do a unification later on in the year between the pair of them.
What's that?
Corrales is on the card as well. Obviously, they're fighting on the same card, both defending their titles, so that might indicate that they're going to unify later on in the year.
I doubt it because who's Burchelt and Mayer are we?
I'm not sure. Burchelt's probably going to have some dodgy spick promoter, isn't he? Corrales is with Golden Boy.
I can't see him fucking like they wouldn't put Corrales in with Linares. I don't think they're going to put him in with Burchelt either because they like Oscar's got Oiram. I can't remember who Burchelt's with. What cards has he been on? It must be.
His HBO debut was against Vargas, so before that, it would be just over in Mexico.
Burchelt Tank Davies would be a good scrap.
That's not going to happen.
I don't think any of the champions are going to fight each other. Not one of them will fight each other.
Do you not reckon so?
No. I believe that if Burchelt is offered the Lomachenko fight, I think Burchelt's the type of fighter that will just fucking fight any cunt, but he's already turned down the Lomachenko fight, and who's the other champion? Who's the other champion, the super featherweight?
We got Davis, Corrales.
Oh, aye, Giovanni Davis. Aye, they're not going to fight each other, so I think it's going to be left down to if Lomachenko wants to fight Burchelt or not.
Of course he would.
So Stephen Smith's supposed to be fighting for a world title again soon. Where's he getting manoeuvred to?
Someone said Corrales.
He ain't that good. I mean, he'll still beat Smith, but he ain't that good.
Corrales fucking nice. What is it, Uchiyama?
Uchiyama, yeah, he done him twice, didn't he?
Aye. I'm talking that's meant to be on the Liverpool card, so that'll be the Callum Smith Skoglund fight.
Well, he's fighting someone called Robinston Castellanos, and he's 24-12.
I know, but he had a good win last time out. Who was it he beat?
Gamboa. Gamboa retired.
Aye.
And everyone knocks Gamboa down. He knocked him down twice.
right, and finished him off. So
Yeah. Before that, he lost to Oscar Escandón. He got knocked out.
Escandón, he's fucking shite.
Rocky Juarez, 2015.
Did he beat him?
Yeah, Rocky Juarez's last fight.
Robert Guerrero's fighting on that
Yeah,
Saturday
he's
as well.
Figueroa.
Yeah.
Well, is that on this card as well?
No.
It's a different card.
He's BBC and he's getting paid $1 million just to keep losing off people.
Fuck me, man. You know what? It was fucking mental, that Miura like Vargas fight, because I felt as if like Miura was doing the far more fucking damage, and it looked as if he mind to tell Vargas you've got one more round and I'm going to fucking stop you, and he went out and blitzed Miura, but Miura looked as if he was absolutely fucking beasting Vargas. So we don't know whether that was just one of the again getting back, what would you rather have, like a fighter get knocked out or quit? Don't know whether that was maybe just Vargas hitting that fucking last hearn, just hitting him with the perfect punch. I mean, the fucking... You would probably pick Burchell because that's the guy that's undefeated and he's like wrecking everybody, but Miura's a fucking beast and all. What a fight this is. I don't know who I'm going to pick. You know what?
Do you reckon that'll be another one of the technical wars that you love?
No, definitely not. Like Miura's just Miura's a bit of a fucking boxer puncher, isn't he? He likes a bit of brawl though, but Burchell's just a fucking wrecking machine.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, I like good scraps if it's not just two guys standing in the middle of the ring.
I don't think this is going to be Rock'em Sock'em Robots, if that's what you mean.
I don't want to see two guys in the middle of the ring just standing fucking head together and just winging punches at each other. It gets fucking boring. I want to see that's why I love the Vargas Salido fight. There was a fucking I know that people were picking Leo Santa Cruz Frampton for their fight of the year, but that Vargas fight was fucking awesome. So, I don't know. I'm going to go for... Fuck it, I'm going for Miura. So I control that Nyota. Because I tell you one thing, if people have no listened to Coalition, Nyota's a pervert. Guys that are about fucking 5'2", and he trolls the fucking internet to find out fights for any remote fucking island that nobody knows about to watch these wee guys. I'm pretty sure Nyota's been molested as a boy as well. Nobody knows what he looks like. He's from... He's revealed absolutely nothing about himself, and he is one fucking creep. Fuck you, Nyota. Die. So who are you picking?
I'm going Burchell.
Yeah, I've got just going back to the Eubank. I think Eubank British stoppage. Abraham will just stand there with his guard up. And Eubank will just be fucking winging in uppercuts from fucking there. I've only to be all that Euro, whatever you want to call him. Instead of sub fight against is it Vargas? But I'd probably pick. How do you say his name?
Miura?
No, not
Burchell?
him. No, yeah, Burchell. Burchell, he looks like a fucking beast. I'm going for him to walk him down and take him out.
What about Joe Smith versus Solly B?
I'm rolling with fucking my white brethren because we all know that the fucking race war is coming and we need to pick sides. I like Sullivan Barrera, man. He's like a decent fighter, but I just hope Joe...
Ward don't get enough credit for that win, and I don't often give Ward credit.
Fuck Ward.
Yeah.
I'm going for Sully B just because it makes Ward look better, and if he loses, that will make him look bad. So absolutely pure bias.
I hope that Ward dies. He has a bad day one day thinking about his dad, and he takes heroin or whatever it is. His L-man fucking died, and he just gets a bad batch, and he just dies the same way his fucking L-man died. Fuck Ward. Fucking scumbag.
Anything else you two want to talk about?
Yeah, I had a really shit question.
Go on.
But it's a serious one.
There's fucking the Box Nation cards on at the weekend.
Should we talk about Matchroom Security v Frank Warren boxing security?
If you really want to.
I don't really want to, but I don't know. Have you seen the clips on YouTube? Of the
fight
when
yeah,
it kicks
chaos.
Off? That's fucking wicked, isn't it? Well, not wicked. It's terrible.
Yeah, about that
Don't
BT
fight
card.
boxing shows, kids.
I like me some Bradley Skeet. I really do, but if he's proclaiming that he could go and beat Pacquiao and stuff like that, at the level he's fighting at, he's obviously so much better than him. Just express yourself a bit. And I don't subscribe to you need to knock people out, but he is clearly better than these people he's fighting. Like Shane Singleton, he battered him. Why would Dale Evans, and he just quite happy go into the decision? He could have stepped on the gas and got him out of there if he really wanted to.
Yeah, he's a frustrating fighter to watch. I quite like him, to be fair. I know some people don't, but I actually quite like him. But his punch output is just shocking. It's so low. He just sort of spends all his time sort of fucking rolling his hands around and not throwing any shots. But I do think he's quite decent, actually, but very frustrating to watch. As you say, like, it's easy to not care about him, isn't it? It's easy just to turn the TV off after 1 or 2 rounds because you know how the fight's going to go and every round's the same with him. But he's never going to get any of those fights. And he might be a bit awkward. And why is anyone going to want to fight him? Not
he's
saying he's avoided,
like
but
he's in the who needs him club, isn't he?
yeah,
Because he's not got massive backing. He's not an exciting fighter. He hasn't got a legion of fans, and he's probably going to give you an awkward night's work. So why would you look at him and think, yeah, I'll take that as a voluntary? He's going to have to get in a mandatory position.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to have been at British level for like ever, but he's won it outright now, hasn't he? So he should just move on now. It's done and dusted. But what I saw the Box Nation card, that wasn't a bad little card actually, considering it seemed like it shifted a few tickets, and I know he didn't have a main event, but he wasn't too bad actually. I thought it was quite enjoyable. I did enjoy that McNess Byfield fight. That was quite good, and the Williams Smile, I couldn't really get into it. I didn't really get into the first one that much, but I thought it was all right. I like watching Skeet. I don't mind that.
Who did you have winning?
I ain't got a clue. Can't tell them apart.
The race war's coming. Byfield obviously knocked out Sam McNess. That's what's caused all the trouble.
Yeah, again, I've never seen. I don't know if you guys have seen Byfield. I've never seen him before. But after, so that McNess, he's from round my way. So I'll try and again just keep up to with what he's up to. But after like 1 round, I was like, straight away I went on to Sky Bet thinking I'm going to back the stoppage, but there was no odds. There was nothing anywhere because it reminded me of, because I'm so shit at boxing, when I spar and they get a decent guy in there and they say to the decent guy, just don't fill him in because you'll kill him. Just take it easy on him. And when I was watching it, I was like, this is so easy for him in the first round. He looked like he wasn't even trying at all. Every time he did want to hit him, he hit him. But that was carnage after. I gather he sells a few tickets for a Box Nation as well. So probably a shame for Frank.
Yard looked good again. Early stoppage. I really do like Yard. I know I've fallen down a trap. He ain't fought no cunt, but the way he's dispatching these people, and the way he's picking his shots, he doesn't rush a stoppage. He jabs to the body, which I like. He's definitely got something. But
when you say you don't rush a stoppage, it's easy to not rush a stoppage if no cunt's going to try and hit your back and they can't hurt you. So when you look at a Josh Taylor, and even my boy Ted Cheeseman there, because I'm massively on the Ted Cheeseman hype train, that when you see the boxers box, like, it's easier to make a call and say, actually, he's a really good boxer. Even though if he's fighting bums, there's a lot that you can tell what they can do when they're going rounds. But when Yard is just blowing people out, it's so difficult, isn't it, to tell whether he's...
Well, he went rounds the fight before this, and even then...
He went 4 rounds.
Huh?
He went 4 rounds before.
Yeah, I know, but more than smashing someone out in a round. You mostly see a bit more.
But we've not seen anyone try and back him up ever yet. We've not seen anyone who can potentially hurt him or buzz him a little bit. So I don't know. I'm not shitting on him because I hope he's legit, and he's from Ilford as well. So yeah, it's another Essex representing again. I hope he is the real deal. But I always a little bit nervous when guys are fighting other people that just cannot hurt them, and they can just take their time and they know that they'll knock them out eventually. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he's fucking legit. And
Daniel Dubois knocked out some 14.5 stone, 29-year-old light heavyweight. Yeah, for the WBC youth title.
That's awesome. So what do you guys think? Because I seem to have got a bit of stick on Twitter. I don't really know why, for saying I didn't think that Dubois was ready for a Dave Allen. I couldn't figure out why someone was raging at me. I mean, would you guys make that fight now?
Well, Dave Allen offers nothing, so yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what is there to don't know about what is Dave Allen going to do that's going to cause him a problem? Not throw punches and take everything on the chin.
Well, he's going to do nothing other than potentially take him quite a few rounds.
Yeah, which is probably going to be good.
Well, yeah, it might be, or it might not be good, because we don't know yet. He's tough, isn't he, Dave Allen? And I know he's terrible, but he's only had 4 fights at Dubois. I don't know what his amateur career was like. I'd be a little bit nervous right now about chucking him in a 10-rounder with someone that you probably know he's definitely going to go 10 rounds. I mean, what's he done so far? Has he done 2 rounds yet? I think he's done 2 rounds once, has he?
Dubois?
Yeah.
I think he might have gone 3. I'm not sure. I'll have a look. I'll just double check now. It was 2 or 3 anyway. It definitely wasn't a lot. Because he knocked that fat lad out, didn't he? Was that the second round? He knocked that fat lad out on his debut.
That was the first round, I think, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just think. I would. What's he done? He's done the first round, second round, first round, second round. Yeah, that was a scheduled 10 round. I went 2. I'd just be a little bit nervous of throwing him in a 10 rounder because you never know. Dave Allen might sort of turn up and try and maybe throw some punches back, and we know he's going to take everything that Dubois got to chuck at him. So I would not be willing to make that next. Give it a couple of fights and do it, but not next.
All right. Well, that is us about done, really, isn't it?
Can I ask a really shit question?
Go on.
Right, and if it's shit, you don't have to answer. You know, so I was looking at Stephen Smith's record the other day and Paul Smith, and they're British. And if someone's wrong, you can in the chat tell me. So they've won British titles, and I don't count their sort of intercontinental WBC bronze belts. And then they jump to world level, and then you've got say Jamie Moore that never had his world title, but he did win not European and Commonwealth. And Jamie Moore's always said, he wished he had a world title shot. Do you think? I probably should ask Jamie Moore this. Do you think you'd rather give up that European and Commonwealth and just have the British and get a world title shot, knowing that you lose it, or would you just prefer to have your British, Commonwealth, European, and never had your world title shot? If that's a shit question, we don't have to answer.
Yeah, I didn't really follow the question. You lost me there.
Wonderful. Should we just knock on the head?
Yeah, we're done.
All right.
Brian.
Hello.
Switch this off.
Is that what's
Matter's ruined it with his shit question.
It was a good question.
What's the question?
Well, the question was, you look at Stephen Smith and Paul Smith's record. They won British titles, and then they've done nothing in between, and then gone and lost like multiple world title shots. You look at someone like Jamie Moore, who never got a world title shot, but won British, European, and Commonwealth. Do we think that you'd rather not have the British and European and Commonwealth and have a world title opportunity and lose, or would you rather never have a world title opportunity but having one British, European, Commonwealth?
I'd rather look just guys that fucking earn their fights. Like Jamie Moore wasn't good enough to win a world title. He wasn't good enough to fight for a fucking world title. That's just it. Some of the people that's fought for world titles didn't deserve that. It's just all because Hearn manoeuvres with these silver belts and shit like that. Look, I want people to do Sam Eggington is doing it the absolutely fucking perfect way. If he's good enough, he will get to fight for a world title. He's still a young guy. He's took a couple of losses earlier on, but defend your European a couple of times, then go for a final eliminator, like a kind of guy that's like a gatekeeper. Beat him, then you're probably ready. Like Lisa Brooknor, that just went fucking balls deep. So no, just fuck it, whatever. Fuck them. Josh Taylor fucking iced Ohara Davies. Get it fucking right up you. Right up you. I'm done. Is that us then?
Yeah, Lacazette, golden boot.
Eddie Hearn's a cunt and chatted for Tommy Allen. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.